what happens that my body is playing with my mind, my brain is playing with my soul is playing with my body. So why these people are playing with each other and making us unhealthy or healthy, or shaping us differently that we want? So it's not a very big expert thing or not very advanced knowledge we need for. Let's connect the basically what happens in the body and what is happening in the mind when something is happening. And mainly we are talking about the events, or the episodes, traumas, small trauma, not the big one, when they are happening that I don't want to happen them in my life. Maybe a very small thing, someone scolded me, that made me very scared. So even the smallest thing and the biggest thing, like a very big trauma, so they all have accumulated impact on my body. Now why body gets sick by brain or my mind or my perception? So let's try understanding from the very basic of it. Have you seen children? Maybe not a very nice example, but just relate. When they are scolded, sometimes they pee in the pant. What has scolding to do with that act that's so physical? Something is happening. So the scolding is getting my nervous system aroused, and nervous system is getting my body to do some task. So you see some bad scene on the road, and you just close your eyes. You don't want to go for a party, or you don't want some guest to visit, and you develop headache. It's a physical headache. It's not the malingering or a excuse or bahanebazi I'm talking about. We develop real headache. Means body starts performing differently. So what is body doing there? It is safeguarding me from the event that I don't want to happen. So there's a body's defense mechanism too, to give me some sickness that can avoid the thing that I don't want. Means this sickness is okay to have, headache for a few hours is okay to have, but the people who are visiting, they will cause more trauma. So it's not to go there, not to go in the party, don't call them. So developing any stomach ache or fever before exam, so this is much better than to see the exam fear. So many things we have seen that like any, we hear about some bad news and we feel nauseating. Body wants to throw everything. So these are very well body and brain connect. When something I'm perceiving, I'm seeing that I'm not liking, immediately I try to shut that off. So these body illnesses are shutting something that we don't want to happen in my life. So this is the very basic connect we all have. Now, when we grow and grow and grow, and then these are very complicated things, so we can't understand them very easily like this. Why my hands start shaking, why I start sweating, why I feel very scared, or why my heart goes palpitating like faster beat. So why all these things happening? Because then we need to be very carefully observant what is happening that I'm not liking in my surrounding. Yes, certainly as human we have to be there even if you don't like that. So we have to develop some tolerance, but tolerance will develop over a time, for a period of time, not immediately that I get something and immediately I can adjust to it. No, it takes time for body and brain. It always takes some time. So if I allow something, if I understand what is happening, and then allow some time to myself to understand that, so then slowly it becomes a habit. Second thing, when some bad or unpleasurable event happens, so that time, if so my body feels something, I have some feeling, and something happens in my body, like maybe I'm traumatized, my heartbeat is faster, my breathing is faster, and I get hurt on my somewhere physical injury. So there's a physical injury, maybe a small accident, the physical injury, the thought, oh God, now what will happen to me? The survival brain just got aroused, and my body, to cope up with that event, started giving me some symptoms like hyper breathing and heart rate and everything. Now what happens, this total memory gets stored in some place, at one place. So it's not like it's only the accident I'll remember. The accident and the body symptoms and the thought all will get stored at one place. So whenever I talk about that, whenever someone talks about that, or I discuss that or think about that, the total symptom will erupt again, because that's a package. The folder contains all these things. When I open the folder, I can see all the files there. So this way, if some area of my life has been very not so pleasant, any small thing even, so not that pleasant, then all the time I get that symptoms in body, and that then develops into some ailment. Repeat, like there are relationship between multiple negative feeling and a body illnesses we may cover afterwards or in the program afterwards. But let's see, these are the basic connections. Now see, I'll just do the slide come bigger. Hmm. So we don't have only mind and body. It's a complete system. My body, my brain, these two are physical organs. My mind is not a physical organ, but it stores everything. And my soul somewhere that is responsible for everything, that is feeling everything and seeing everything and deciding things for me. So let's see what do they do. So what is the function? Mind perceives. So mind can't see, brain can see with the eyes, but mind can't see. It only perceives. So it perceives even the seen and unseen both. It can perceive both. Soul believes it's going to happen. Brain prepares and plans. It's a physical organ. It has to do the task. So it prepares and plans how to, and then body execute it. So what all mind can perceive? It perceives threats. It perceives possibilities. So threat can squeeze me. Possibilities can open me. Success, failure, my health. Like if I close my eye and think about health, immediately I'll get a voice, you are healthy. No, you are not that healthy. You are never healthy. I'm a sick person. I've always been a sick person. I have this problem. So it always talks to you. It gives you all the suggestion that is stored. Spiritual connections. It perceives my spiritual connection, like how I'm connected to God. Now it's not the body, it's not the brain. Success is repeated. Opportunities, what all I can do with this. Manages spiritual energy and stamina, managing that. And my self-image. Am I healthy? I'm not healthy. I'm equipped. I'm not equipped. I'm very adequate to do anything and I'm not that adequate to do anything. And then it signals the body for safe or danger, to go ahead or don't go ahead. If it say don't go ahead, this will give a lot of reason not to be okay to do the task. Then my soul, what it does believe in self. Okay, this is a big challenge, but I know I can do it. How do I know what I'll be able to do after 10 years or what I'll be able to do in my lifetime? But so many things we are so sure about, like I want to become this and I will become this and I will do this and I'll achieve this. So this is the belief. Body can't do that. Body will only abide by these instructions. Okay, you want to achieve this, let me be fitter for you. You want to avoid that, okay, let me be sick for you. So all these things, he believes in almighty. There is a nature, there is a natural power, there is a big power that helps us. This is not the body's belief. Expansion, how big we can become on everything, not the inclusion, where all we can get and what all we can be in our only dreams. It believes in dreams. Empowerment, whatever I am, I can be more and more. Connectedness with people, with nature, with God, with anything that we want to, country. So we get connected by that because it believes. Because it's not working, it doesn't get tired. It's functioning all the time. It never gets tired. So it keeps us going. Even we are sick. I had 104 fever. Today I have 103 fever. It start believing I'm okay now. Body not okay. But somewhere I get feeling today I am better. Better than what? You are sick, your system is sick, you've been, first day you are sick for 1 day, now you are sick for 4 days, but you feel now you are improving and you're getting okay. So all these beliefs start playing some role in my brain and my body. So what does brain do? It understands, it thinks, okay, now this is your belief system, you are connected to God. Okay, let me do this, let me function this system, this part of the brain to get connected more, do this, do the prayer, be focused. So all these things, brain start giving you the support, evaluates, where are we? You wanted to go there, but you are hardly not started yet. So this evaluates, it learns, it aligns the things those are going on. It doesn't go weird. It aligns with the so many tasks and the so many thoughts and all many things. Manage time, efforts, and money, and troubleshoots because it's a physical organ. So this is a dreamer. It dreams and never gets satisfied. So soul doesn't get tired, brain doesn't get satisfied. So what option we have? So does better, better, and better. Now I'm done. We never say that. I'm done with life. I'm quite successful. I don't want to move ahead. No. Your brain says, no, don't be stupid. Still lot to do. Now, the poor body has to execute all your dreams, your thoughts, your beliefs, your challenges, and everything. So it gets tired. It's a physical organ. It gets fatigued. It gets sometime or most of the time sick because it can't cope up with the challenge that we do to ourselves. So now let's understand how it works. Then I'll explain this one. Uh, when when something is not so good happening, all illnesses or ailments are connected with unpleasurable event. Certainly, pleasurable event will not give us sicknesses. Certainly, that's the best situation we can't get into. But normally, any unpleasant event, negative thinking, negative pattern, negative people, negative suggestions, like I can't do it because I have headache. I can't do it. I can't walk. I have backache. I don't know why, but I'm tired today. So these are all related. Now, when we say mind-body connection, earlier we were saying psychosomatic. Now they are called lifestyle diseases. Uh, it happens that it's not the particular ailments are connected with the brain or mind. Almost all the ailments are connected with my mind, how I perceive and how I see them. So all of them, like if I'm injured, my recovery is very well depending on my mood and my positivity. There has been like a research on that, on stress. The two couple taking part. So one of them, they were inducing artificial blisters on hands, and the couple who were fighting all the time took at least 50% extra time to heal the blister because they were stressed all the time. So this is the connect. If body is mindful, by remaining mindful state, then body is a healing system, is working all the time. And when it is healing all the time, then these ailments are minimized or healed better. So when I say psychosomatic or lifestyle, it means simply like ailment will be of body, nature of body. So body has to be treated. But mind has a very big role in that. It wants to cure or not cure, because it wants to cure openly. Certainly it will say, no, I don't want to get cured. But somewhere, somehow, I'm enjoying that secondary gain I spoke about last time. So it is not allowing that. So and making more stress because I am not getting okay, so I'm getting more stressed. When I get more stressed, I become more sick because stress is elevating my symptoms, and more sickness will give me more stress. So it's very cyclic. We have to break the cycle to get cured for these. So like few ailments, those are chronic in nature, like asthma. It's like almost for few people it's like lifetime. any respiratory problem, mostly it gives lot of, because it creates a lot of trauma while breathing. So it becomes very sickening feeling. So it becomes a psychosomatic one again. Headache, most of the type of headache, they have like a psycho means thought level or a mind level, and somatic means body. So it has psychological ailment, psychological not as fake, psychological as your thought is guiding. So what your thought is guiding your body, that uh, changes the body pattern, and body pattern changes the thought pattern. So when it is psychosomatic, they are interdependent. They are like hampering the function or stopping the function, and stopping enhancing the function, like a ailment or anything, that increasing it, not enhancing, increasing it. So now, to be healthy, so first thing we have to be aware, like all the ailment, small or big, like a stomach problem, digestive problem, acidity, everything has relationship with my mood and my thought and how I perceive myself. So if it is cyclic, the difficulty is in getting there, how to break the cycle. Where all can we break it? We can't cure the ailment immediately, because it has a long history and lot of like a chronicness in that, and a body and a complicated system. So we can break the thought side of it and give body a very, let me just see if I have that. No. Oh, just a sec. I was looking for a slide that I just missed. Hmm. So you must be knowing about the stress function and how body goes into fight and flight mode, and it just gets very, the sympathetic system gets very aroused. So in this also, sympathetic system is most systematic centers are very aroused most of the time. So what we can do, if I notice that something, my any ailment is not getting cured and taking extraordinary time to heal, start practicing relaxation at least. So when you start filtering your thoughts, if they are very negative or they are very troubled, or is a very like juggling all the time, with the juggling with the thoughts all the time. So if we have that, let's start breaking that. We can get entry from the psycho side faster than the somatic side to cure. Somatic side is certainly you will be taking medicine, or you will be doing some practices of relaxation, meditation, or doing like taking medicine, anything, yoga. But for this particularly, first filter the thoughts, what is causing that negativity all the time, like suggesting yourself that I may not get cured, it may become for lifetime, it may be so dangerous. So all these things you don't know. So if you don't know, don't try to perceive. And if you don't perceive, if you do perceive, don't suggest your brain that is going to happen, because the moment you suggest to brain, that will plan for it. When you suggest like I may not be okay, say 15-20 days, or I may get corona, may could get corona, okay, then brain, what understand brain, that okay, you want corona. Why? Because brain doesn't understand. No, you can't stop a function in the brain. You can't stop a thought in the brain. You have to divert, and you have to suggest all the time in positive sentences only. You say don't do, brain will do exactly that you say, removing the don't. So it understand only do this. Don't be negative. Okay, negative. Okay, these are negative things. So connect like that. So this is like some sort of artificial intelligence we have that doesn't understand don't or no. So we need to remove that first. That means simply we'll think in positive sentences. I don't have to feel bad. No, I have to feel good. I don't have to think negative. No, I have to think positive. I don't have to think negative. Brain has no command for it. So this only sees the keyword negative. Think negative. I don't have to think negative, it won't understand. So always, always and always there's a golden rule to think in positive sentences. It is filter that thinking pattern that says like, don't do this, do this. Just go the opposite and say the positive sentences. So let's understand here, when we have a very integrated mind, body, brain, and uh, all four components, then how a body will feel and how a healing body should remain. Always feels good about. Good about what? Whatever is happening. Everything is so good. Some people are enjoying the summer, some people are enjoying not enjoying so much the summer. But if someone is enjoying, challenge yourself, can I enjoy? What is the thing that is stopping me to? So feeling good about things that is happening is very good for, like, all is well. This gives signal to the brain and body, everything is okay. If I'm feeling good, then it's okay. Feeling hopeful and positive. If things are not very favorable, they are going to change, because that's a normal cycle. It's not a blessing, and it's not any prediction. It has a cycle. Like everything is moving in wave form. So if it had gone for negative, it's going to go positive after some time. Then we need to wait and remain positive. Okay, it's going to happen. So little patience, little time, and be positive, hopeful. It will happen. It's never happened that something is there and it's not gone. So it is very, very sure. And in this, body is taking care of wear and tear responses. Wear and tear responses, the fatigue, the broken cell, the tiredness. So everything gets repaired if we are connected with mind, body, and brain, soul, everything connected. Then body is taking very good care of wear and tear responses. These are very, very required things for any ailment that we are talking about, the psychosomatic, because if body is healing, these are all, though it is body, but only brain and mind take care of these things. Organs are functioning and healing. They are doing their own job. Like I don't know whole life, if I don't develop an ailment, that how my kidney functions. But it is functioning without my awareness level, without my mind, body, thought, everything. It is just taking care of automatic function, and they are functioning well. So they can only heal and function well if I am maintaining my equilibrium, my balance. Body supports for coping challenges. It never gives up then. You are doing, and brain and heart are agile. Why they have to be agile? Because they are changing all the time. Their functionality are 100 times in a second, they are changing. See the heart rate. In 1 second, 1 minute it functions over high. Brain is functioning the same. So they are very much in high demand. So it should be agile. Body metabolizes food and supplies the energy. It completes the energy circle in the brain, body, brain, everywhere. It gives us all the energy from the thing, from atmosphere, from food, from thought, for oxygen, everything. Body and brain's equilibrium is maintained. Equilibrium is like thermostat for everything, not only for temperature, how much oxygen should get, how much. So our breathing is maintained, our digestion is maintained, our metabolism is maintained, and equilibrium is that where it starts, it comes back to there. So that is equilibrium, that's balancing act. So body is absolutely like nothing is raising too high and nothing going too down. It is very effective and fit. It works very well. Sleeping and eating well. Sleeping and eating again, and energy and tiredness and uh, maintenance for very much important for body to live. So it is maintained both. Balances social, emotional, and intellectual being. These are very well needed for my psychological well-being, that I think I'm okay if my social relationships, my emotional, and my intellectual being are connected. Remaining healthy and having good stamina. Sorry, living good, having good stamina and energy continuously. We don't know when do we need it. Manage stress. We have stress, but they are managed. And absence of illness. This is called health. So when my body is healthy, it is functioning well, it is remaining in equilibrium state, organs are maintained, thinking and brain is functioning, and no illnesses. So these are all psychosomatic. These are not ailment, but these are psychosomatic maintenance of the body or any illness. Illnesses are okay, extra need, extra demand, but these things have to be functional. What goes in not only in functioning, so settled body. It's not all the time shaky and hyper and troubled, feeling this repeated. Adopting well with newness or challenges. Now, if I'm not adopting well with newness or challenges, every now and then I'll keep on feeling some sickness in the body. Because why? Because newness become an undesirable event for me, and I'm not adopting. So I can develop again the same thing that I was doing in the childhood before exam. Don't want to. I don't want to, then I'm sick. If I'm sick, then any universal challenge till the time I'm okay to cope up with. So this takes extra illness and extra sickness. So try understanding the pattern. Be more vigilant for newness. Allow some more time, but don't freak out with newness or challenges. Moving and progressing, and taking good care of body and brain. When we know that what we should not do and what we should do, we should not eat unnecessary or junk food to keep my body healthy, and still I know and still eating it, not following the thing that even I know that what I should not do. So same thing, so healthy body will not do that, healthy brain will not do this. It means something is not right, we need to correct. So this I explained earlier, we can explain it again and talk about the particular thing. Like when you get something not so good, body develops some symptoms. And body develops some symptom, gives signal to brain, everything is not right. That gets jittery, that gets again in stress, gives lot of extra emergency supplies or stop emergency supplies, and then gives something less or more to body. That again gets imbalanced. So it is very cyclic, like body and brain, and then again body. So it's just rotating between these two. So it won't work. Body, so that's what I said. And they overshadow. How much body will do, how much brain will do, we don't know. Now, if you ask any person who is having like a respiratory or asthmatic problem, are you stressed? No, I don't have any stress, because these are not connected directly with your stress. They got connected long time ago with your some stressor that time and gave you this body symptoms. Or you got asthma first because of some allergy and something. Then it becomes so troublesome that brain got alert, oh, something is not right, and it took over. Now it got converted into psychosomatic. A child, you had asthma because of allergic condition, that's a physical, pure physical, it has nothing to do with the stress, but now brain has taken over. Yeah. Now, I think I'll be like, I can take on questions if you want to.
Sure. Ma'am, you can remove the slide so that people can see you full screen.
I will. So I don't share the screen now.
Yeah, you stop sharing the screen. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, ma'am, one of the questions I have is that when we talk about mind-body connection and it manifesting illnesses, so and we see some of the examples also you shared about stress mechanism or the child example. So, is there a definite, link that, like when in the future series also, when we talk about, we'll be talking about migraine, respiratory illness, or
Yeah,
other.
that will be connecting what type of negative feeling or negative type of, what type of event will cause what type of illnesses.
Okay, okay, okay. And
Yeah, like backache and shoulder ache or asthma or any such things like respiratory. What type of trauma normally and what type of personality? Not everyone with the same symptom, same event will get the same thing. But what will actually lead to what type of personality is more vulnerable to pick up illnesses? Not all will take.
okay, okay, okay. And ma'am, in the sessions which will be coming up, what would be the pattern, and what would you be sharing, in terms, and would you be sharing about the, corrective measures also one can
Yeah,
take?
corrective measures, yes. So, like first thing, identifying, knowing, and then correcting or preventing,
Okay, okay.
both. And practicing something, because these are not one-time thing. These are lifelong thing.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
lifelong thing, it means if it is lifestyle problem, though all corrective measures should become my lifestyle.
Okay, okay.
It's not only ailment based. These are
Mhm.
the practices that we need to do as rituals every day to keep ourselves healthy.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's not only negative thoughts or not one day has to be discarded. We have to practice that we are in positive mood most of the time, because
Okay,
we can't control outside challenges, we can't control outside problem, we can't control our trauma all the time. Then we have to be all the time practicing, like brushing the teeth. We need to be positive when all the time. How? Yes, learn this way.
okay.
Certainly be doing that.
Okay. Ma'am, there is a question by Manju Vig. She's asking, how can one divert the negative thoughts immediately?
By doing any physical task
Okay.
or cognitive task or physical task. Any physical, like I told you, just if you're very much negative, just write 10 seconds with your left hand if you're right handed. Then just challenge your brain to do some task that immediately is not habitual of.
Okay, okay, got it. Very interesting tip you've shared.
Very
Um,
small thing, but immediately you have to shake your brain. And because brain is inside, we can't shake it. So, but brain is always awakened for the challenges. Challenge it. Stand on 1 feet for one thing. Just stand on 1 foot for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and you will be gone with your negative thinking. You can't think that.
okay, okay. Anyone else have a question? They can type or they can unmute and ask the question. So,
Normally, what we do, try to remove the negative feeling and bring the positive feeling. That's the wrong process. We can't do that.
okay, okay.
Just to remove the darkness, you have to lighten the bulb.
Hmm.
You can't remove the darkness.
Okay.
The light
So,
will remove the darkness.
yeah. Good afternoon, Dr. Pandey. Sorry, I joined late
Good
today.
afternoon, my favorite Swatantrata.
Yeah, I am sorry. I was at managing the posture program, so I joined very late today. But I was there in your session around 11:15. So,
Good to be here.
have we? Yeah, thank you so much, Ankur. Good afternoon to you also. And good afternoon to everyone here. So have we shared the schedule? Like these are the topics we're going to discuss in the next 3 weeks?
Yeah, I had briefly shared, and I'd also shared the link in the chat, but if you can just give a quick overview and share the process and what people will be getting, because I believe the people who will be paying, they will be getting, in addition to live session access, they'll get recording access as well, right?
Yes, we will be providing the recording of the full session to them.
And they can discuss their own personal problem also, as last time we did for stress.
Yes, yes, we can
They
do
can
that.
write, if they want to, they can write you the problem so we can make the program more customized.
Sure, sure. So maybe, Savi, we can collect those who are registering, we can collect information from them that
Yeah, if
what
they
is the
want to,
objective. Yeah.
that will at least be not talking general then.
Yes, yes, yes.
So good afternoon, everyone. So we are going to go with the three topics. So headaches and migraine, which is on 18th July, and then digestive orders, which is on 25th July, and then the asthma and the respiratory disorder on 1st of August. As you all see that how Dr. Pandey is specialized into giving you the tips, which is very useful. Like now, she just shared this tip that how you can get rid of the negative thoughts, which is like very, very useful tip. So that is her specialty, that she gives you the things which is practical, not like other people who just talks about the theory part and you don't know what to do with that. So those are the things which you will be getting. And as she has also shared that you can have your own issues which you are dealing with, she will be giving you the personal tips on that also. And there'll be a Q&A session on all these three topics.
Yeah.
So link has been shared into the chat section, so you all can please register there. So you want to register for account. If you want to go by one, then there is a pricing is mentioned there. And Anshu Priya has raised the hand, so 1 minute, I'm unmuting her. Yeah, Anshu Priya, you can unmute yourself. Ankur, can you unmute her? I think you are the host.
Yeah, I can unmute myself. Hi, ma'am.
Anshu, hi.
Question. So I have noticed that a lot of times when I get negative thoughts, what happens? My mind gets blocked. So even if I know that I have to do something to get rid of these thoughts, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit and just like lament.
So maybe you are like a very divergent with your negative thoughts. So they are just coming one after each. So they are actually bombarding you.
Yes.
So and making you numb then on bodily, because there are so many, you can't handle them immediately, you can't answer them. So
yes,
they have a habit of like coming in bunches and groups. Like if you think one problem, they are just the thread and they are all coming. So one thing is like, because if this is your habit, so you don't have to wait for negative thoughts to come.
Okay.
You have to practice first thing, you have to write all the positive thoughts about those negative thoughts. Those are asking questions when they are coming. So you have to answer yourself, okay, if my mind is asking for how will I manage my finances, it's going to go to drain. I'm just giving example. I don't know anything about the thought that you get. So if it is asking too many questions, like how you going to manage the next month and this, that, then you have to give answer to yourself before they start asking question. Get ready and write on a piece of paper, okay, I can do this minimum, this I can do maximum, and this is the way. So you have to make some cognitive planning on all those negative thoughts. And most of the thoughts will be very weakened if you have handled them. It's a very good idea if you really have this pattern, like these thoughts, whenever you get free, they come to you. It means they are sabotaging you. So then you must allow half an hour or 1 hour with yourself, like a real meeting. Call yourself, invite yourself, not on Zoom certainly, but invite yourself like, okay, I'll sort out all these problems, those are negative, and coming with me. And write all the solution one by one. They will start minimizing from your bunch. When the bunch becomes weaker, you will become stronger. Try that and let me know if it doesn't work. It works mostly all the time. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Oh, you muted actually. You muted yourself. I can't hear you.
Anshu Priya, can you please unmute yourself?
I think her child had just muted her. She doesn't want her to talk.
Yeah. Actually, there's some disturbance. I'll just message.
No. It's not a disturbance. It's your family. They are fun.
I love it what you said.
Yeah. So enjoy it. It's your family.
Yes.
At least they are together. So have fun.
Okay, so there is another. Surbhi has raised the hand. Surbhi, you can unmute yourself and ask your question, please. Yeah, Surbi?
I can't hear Surbi, so you can, I think, repeat the question if you can read.
Surbi, can you type your question in the chat section? So Anshu Priya is saying that her daughter has got hurt, so she's going to take care of her.
Okay.
Okay, so there are 2 people who have joined recently. We will be sending you the recording of this session. Vidura Arya. So this session, Ankur, will you please explain them that about this session? And the payment link has been done. We have received few payments. So others who want to make the payments can go ahead.
Mamta, send me the recording link to me too also, because I just forgot to record.
Okay, sure.
Definitely, I will be. Yeah.
I just saw that the recording is paused since beginning.
Okay. No
Surbi,
worries.
I request you to type your question because somehow you are not able to unmute, or you just talk if you can. Surbi, you're unmute now. You can talk.
I think there's some net problem at her end. So maybe Surbi, you can type the question.
Second WhatsApp, and then you can read. If you can.
Okay, so I think you can probably type in or send us an email. So we'll see if we can get back to you. So I think thanks a lot everyone for the session. And okay, I think she has now typed the question. It says, okay, if the negative thought is about someone's health, how to tackle that? So one has negative thoughts. I think maybe, thoughts of some illness of a close person or of, any person in family, how one can handle that.
The best way to, because we know that these thoughts are illogical. They are not going to happen. We know for sure. So they are just anticipatory and visualizing. So if I can visualize the negative things, like this can happen, we need to practice the positive visualization for them all the time, like a prayer. We pray for them and all the time visualize they are being very healthy, all the time healthy and moving and around you. So then slowly, because this is a very illogical thought, it's an irrational thought. We don't know who is going to be sick or not going to be healthy or unhealthy. So simply the same thing, the tool visualization you are using for but getting stress and negative, just same visualization, create positive scene and visualize them about the people. And if they are not taking good care of health, yes, help them to take good care of the health. If that is like it's leading. Someone has sugar and it's eating a lot of sugar. Certainly you don't want to. So that is leading. So help them to take control. Plus visualize all the time good health.
Okay, thanks, ma'am. So, Swatantra, if there's anything else you want to share, or should we?
No, we can close the session. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you,
I
everyone.
request that,
Thank you, Dr. Pandey.
Yeah, you can share the links with the people who had registered, and then from next week we look forward for some of you to be part of our first session, which is on migraine, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and we will also add Raju. Raju wants to ask some questions, so we can take that question. Dr. Pandey, is it okay? We take some questions. Yeah, Raju, you can unmute yourself and ask the question, or you can type here.
I just wanted to know, because I've been suffering almost for 20 years for so-called acidity and tongue burning and all these things, and my mind is always some kind of restlessness. I'm not stable at any moment. It's not that I'm a very jovial kind of person. I generally don't have any depression, but always mind is hyper or not in some place and always thinking about something. But is it anything symptom to do with this, the tongue burning and the acidity? I've tried all the medicines, treatments, reflux, all forms of medicine. So I know it's in mind. The moment the mind is more distressed, it is very heavy. When the mind is more calmer, it is much better. But what is your suggestion for this? Because is it
to calm down the see one you I think this is a right group to understand. Maybe you need to work on your food plus relaxation of the body. Are you
I'm a
joining
very
the
healthy person.
no, healthy has nothing to do with your inner chemical balances. Health, I
Right.
understand, like your metabolism is okay, but something body is not like
Hey,
you.
my
And then,
metabolism is not okay, madam. My metabolism is very bad. Digestion is very bad.
yeah, then health is like
That is
here
the issue.
compromise. Healthy means like you've been able to pull and along with your challenges, but that
Right.
doesn't mean you're totally healthy. So some
Right.
balances are not. So are you joining the next session where we are talking about digestive one?
Yeah, I most probably will. I just wanted
Yeah,
to
then,
ask this
then we'll be
so
talking
that
in detail there, because it's not one tip solution that you will get for
at
this
least you
problem.
can suggest something that I will have an idea. That's why, because
Yeah,
it's
just go for very good body relaxation technique. Like you can Google Jacobson or Jacobson technique or progressive technique and start practicing that. When body is very relaxed, brain gets settled. It gets settled.
okay.
Normally we try to relax brain by doing savasana or
Meditation.
something,
Yeah.
but,
Pranayama.
but if you can relax body, brain gets settled much easier.
Right. Right.
So I'll be teaching that in the session.
Right, man. 25th. Okay. Most probably I'll be joining.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. And we look forward for your presence. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.